Now, no one can say this is a nice thing to see, right? Well, at least it really isn't for me. I know it happens more often than we would like, so that's why we got your back. Everyone has smartphones too. In 2016, actually, there will be nearly 2 billion smartphone users in the world. And it's been estimated that 1 of 11 runs out of battery every day. This means that 180 million people suffer of this problem every day. But what's out there in the market for them? What can they do? Two main approaches. First, power banks. You buy them, bring them home, charge them, and carry them with you so you can charge your phone when you're running out of battery. Second option, public charging stations offered at venues that require you to stand next to a machine while you're charging your phone. But who wants something else to worry about, and who wants to waste 20 minutes of their life charging their phone next to a machine? Now, we saw this, and we set out to define the 3 main characteristics that would define the perfect solution for this problem. First, it has to be available at key locations. People need charge when and where they're running out of battery. Secondly, it needs to allow the user to keep moving as they're charging. You don't want to stand next to a machine for 20 minutes. And third, it needs to allow the user to keep using their phone while they're charging it. I mean, why would you want to charge it if you don't need to use it? Now, we took these 3 characteristics, we put them together, and we came up with SnackCharge. SnackCharge provides the user with a plug-and-go battery which they can get at any of our associated snack machines when and where they need it the most. Then, when they're done with the battery, they can return it at one of our own machines and get some money back. But how does this exactly work? Well, a user is running out of battery and they approach your regular snack machine, the one with candy bars and crackers in it, and now it's also going to have charged batteries on one of the aisles. So the user pays $7, they get the battery, they plug it to their phone, and they leave with their phone charging. Now, when they're done using it, they can unplug it and go return it at one of our strategically located SnackCharge machines in which they can return it and get $4 back. Now, that would mean the net price for the user to charge their phone was $3. Now, what happens if someone doesn't want to return it? Well, let them keep it. They can keep it and charge it at home, and we sold the battery for $7. Now, this is such a good idea and an important necessity that already 2 startups have come up in the world in the last few months to solve the same thing. First, PlugGo, which works in Europe, and they focus on concerts and events, and they set up a stand and offer people a charged battery, which they first sell for 10 euros, and when people bring it back uncharged, they give them back $7. And Mobile Cubes, who's working here in the States out of New Orleans, and they have their network of vending machines, and they charge $5 for each charge. They've got some traction. They have something like 17 machines out there right now, and they plan to have 300 by 2016. Now, what do we do better than them? First, we have smaller and therefore cheaper batteries. We think we just need to get the user through in the moment. We don't need to charge their phone fully. So we're going to have a small 1,500 milliampere battery that allows them to get from 0 to 60% battery approximately, and it's very small and comfortable to plug to their phone. Secondly, we have a better coverage through our partnerships. We're not going to own every machine that sells SnackCharge. We will put them in snack machines that are already there, and that way we don't have to build a distribution channel. That makes us less capital intensive, and it allows us to grow faster. But who are these partner companies? For example, Vendomática in Chile has 2,500 machines in the country, and they already have all the distribution network. Or Canteen in the States have machines in over 48 states. What would they get from us? Well, first, we would increase their flow of people. Often, vending machines companies have the problem that the machines are located near stores, and people decide to go to a store humanly operated to buy a soda instead of a machine. Now, if they had a product that's only at their machines, people would have to go there, and while they're there, why not get a snack too? And secondly, they will also get a percentage of our revenue through their machines. Now, how does our model work with them? We take the batteries, we charge them, pack them up, and give them to them. They distribute through their snack machines where users can get them. Now, when users go and return it at our machines, we collect them, charge them, pack them up, and give it back to them, and fill the cycle. Now, only imagine this being there at malls, parks, or metro stations. You wouldn't run out of battery again. This is why we define our mission, and it is to keep your phone charged anytime and anywhere. Now, we thought we had a pretty cool idea in our hands, and we wanted to see what people thought about it. So we went out and we stood outside the busiest mall in Santiago, Chile, with only a little table and a sign, and we offered people to rent their batteries. And the reaction was very strong. 12 people in 1 hour came to rent a battery from us on average. This means that people actually have this necessity and they would like the concept. Now, we've estimated some numbers. We think we're going to start selling small, 5 batteries per day per machine, and grow steadily during the first 2 years to reach a peak of sales of 25 batteries per machine per day after 2 years. Now, we want to start with 5 initial self-owned machines and add a new one every month, and 10 associated snack machines, and add 4 every month. We're charging the user $3 per charge, and we'll give our key partner a percentage of the revenue. Now, this leads to this graph in which you can see that on month 5, after the beginning of our operation, we break even, having 0 cash flow that month. Now, we have to identify 3 main stages of development. First, we want to start with a pilot experiment to actually test out fully well how this is going to work with a small investment, and have 15 machines, and we will lose $15,800 in that first month. Now we keep growing, and on month 5 we break even, and after 3 years of expanding and reaching the whole city of Santiago, we'll have 140 machines and $3.6 million of profit accumulated over the years. But you have to start this somehow, right? So we're asking for $384,000 that will account for the development of the machines, buying 5 SnackCharge machines, including 10 associated machines into our network, filling these with 2,500 machines, and covering for office costs and advertisement for the development process and the first months before we break even. Now, when will you get your money back? On month 16, after we start operating, we will have made a total profit of $384,000, which we can give back. Now, we don't want to just stay in Santiago. We want to grow to South America, and it's been estimated that the whole smartphone market in South America is worth $600 billion annually. The power banks market is a smaller round with only $2 billion, including Mexico, Central America, and South America. And since ours is a new market, we estimated that the charge renting market could reach as high as $150 million of revenue in South America yearly. Now, what are we going to do to start this? Well, first we have to design the batteries and the machines to receive batteries. Then we will develop them with a contractor manufacturing company, and then when we get them, produce them. Now, when we get them, we're going to start attacking the city on the metro system. The metro system provides us with a steady flow of people every day at rush hour, 6 to 8 p.m., when their batteries are running out of battery and they're not home yet. We would set our first machines there, and we would hire staff for the first month to encourage people to try them, teach them what they are, and combine this with campaigns on the social networks. Like, for example, people could take a selfie next to our machine, show the staff that they uploaded it, and get their first battery for free. That way we'd get the word out and get people knowing what we are. Now, just imagine another business lines or revenue streams, like, for example, the branding of the batteries. Don't you think Coca-Cola would like it if thousands of people were charging with a little Coke can in their pocket every day? Or maybe Apple wouldn't like it if all their phones were being charged by a thing that says Samsung on it. Now, this is our idea, and we have a team led by mentors like Alejandro. He owns one of the biggest advertisement firms in Chile. He believes in us. He's been with us since the beginning, and he's our marketing expert. David Badikoff owns the good-size toy importing company into the country. Is industrial engineering too, and he's on finance. Vicente Fuenzalida is on R&D. Fernando is going to see about marketing, and Felipe is going to manage operations of the company. We've also had some people join us, like Camille. Batteries, and we plan on hiring more people on designing and development of batteries and machines when we start developing this. Thank you very much, and remember that we'll keep your phone charged anytime, anywhere.
So, good presentation. Can you talk to us about your unit economics? I mean, we saw your aggregate financials, but how much do the batteries cost? How much do the kiosks cost?
All right, let me go. I have a breakdown here. So we were talking with China. We actually got our first prototypes already of batteries, and they're going to cost $3 a piece. So we're going to buy our batteries at $3 and sell at $7 when people take it away. Now, if people return a battery, that means that the first sale, the first rental of a battery, first cycle, pays for it, and then the second time when we charge it and put it back in the machine, give it the second use, it's going to give us a profit of $7 on that sale. Now, if we give it more cycles and people keep renting it instead of taking it away, it just adds $3 to the battery profit until it exits the cycle with a final sale of $7. Now, machines, we estimated that they will cost around $8,000 each for the production, yeah, this is a general breakdown of our initial investment.
And then your business model with not using your vending machines, but other people's just normal snack machines. I assume then the business then is just to sell the batteries with no return option?
No. Okay, let me go more in detail on this. I didn't want to confuse you during the presentation. So I'm just going to leave it there. Listen. So when people go to a snack machine that's associated to us, but it's not part of our direct network, they will pay the full price of charge plus battery for $7. Now those people have the option of returning it to one of our machines and getting $4 back. That's the rental option. People can also keep the battery and pay the $7 and charge it at home and use it. Now, with our own machines, once we develop machines that can take batteries in, why not make them selling points too? So we will offer people to pay with credit card on our own spots, and they will be charged $3 at first, and then if they don't return the battery within a week, they will be charged the other $4 to complete the $7 full price, as if they were buying it. Now, how will we recognize if someone is bringing in a battery that was bought through our machines or a snack machine? Because we don't want to give $4 back to people that paid $3 initially. It's simple. There will just be a list of credit cards. So if you bring a battery, batteries can be identified through our machine through a QR code, for example, or we're thinking NFC as an option to near field communication. So if the battery that comes in is recognized on the list of batteries that came out through credit card, it just frees that user from the charge. If the battery that comes in is not on that list, it means that it came from a snack machine, which doesn't recognize batteries, and we give that battery $4 out. So that's how it works.
Great idea. Can you talk a little bit about intellectual property protections? And also if you could talk a little bit more about when will you be finalizing the prototype and how much do you really think it's going to cost you to get to actual market testing with it?
All right. So the first part, intellectual property. Yes, we've talked about this with an intellectual property office in Chile, and as you probably know, business models are not patentable. Yes. So our innovation is not the battery itself, or not even the machine itself. It's changing the business model behind power banks. Power banks right now are sold to the user, and we're going to put them in a cycle to get more profit out of them and solve the need in a better way. So we cannot patent the batteries further than the external design. That's not patentable. And we can also just patent the design of the vending machine that we will produce, but not the idea of renting battery. We cannot get a royalty for that. That's why our strategy for competition will be just rapid growth and low prices through partnerships, which is what Mobile Cubes doesn't have. They're growing on their own, and that makes them slower. And yes, so that's an intellectual property. We cannot patent this, but we will grow fast. And on your second topic, we've had some help from people that actually are in the kiosk business, like Cardile. You might have seen their kiosks here in Blacksburg. They're from here, and we talked with them on the phone, and he gave us an insight. He said that he produced the first prototype for $16,000 with a company out in Colorado. So he said our good guess for us would be under $50,000 for a fully functional prototype engineered. So yeah, that's our estimate.
Do your growth models assume a stagnant technology, battery technology? And how do you account for that? Meaning batteries lasting longer, getting better and better and better.
Yes, absolutely. So we, first of all, absolutely acknowledge that one of these years there will be a groundbreaking battery technology that just is going to change the way things work. But as of now, and the forecast for the next couple of years is batteries getting better, but at the same time, the requirements that smartphones are having are also more power consuming. For example, now with 4G and bigger screens, we are probably going to see generalized video streaming from smartphones, so people are going to be watching their favorite show from Netflix on their smartphone when they're on the metro. And so the way batteries are going to grow is always caught up by how functionalities of phones also grow and demand more power. And also the design requirements make phones thinner and thinner, and that requires an even more technological battery. We think we have a window frame of at least 5 years to make this work and make our profit, and we don't hope that forever batteries, we sure do, but we're not so innocent to think that forever they will run out of battery, but yeah, that's our vision on that.
Do your cost models take into account the personnel and required for your own kiosks as far as emptying them on a regular basis and maintaining those kiosks?
Yes, they do. The initial investment I showed does not include that because obviously we're not operating, but all the graphs I showed, the break-even graph and the return on investment have many more variables, like people that will need to hire, servicing the machines once a month, seeing that they're okay, paying for the lease of the spot where they're installed, and all variables connected to vending. So they do include them.
Very nice presentation, and I think your idea of placing the machines at your metro stops at the end of the day when people are running out of battery is a good idea. But if you talk to any of the vending machines companies about the idea of putting something, like a battery next to a candy bar, so that something that you eat versus something that will kill you if you eat it or something, just having that kind of a mix in a vending machine. Have you talked to any of the vending machines about whether or not they would accept batteries in their machines?
We did talk to Vendomatica for a very short while, right before we came here, and we didn't get a straight answer of a yes, but they were interested in the idea, and they were open to having a meeting when we came back. So we still need to keep working on them, but yes, we have, and they're open to listening to us at least. So.
All right, we have time for questions. Okay. So here's the question: how do you keep the charge on the battery, in the vending machine? How, with the self-discharge of the battery, how long would it typically last in the vending machine?
Right. So products in a vending machine are usually refilled every 2 days at the most, from research of the companies in Chile. So a battery usually will not lose more than 10% of its capacity during that time frame. So we think that could be a problem if our batteries were staying in for longer, but since the trading is very quick, that's not going to affect us much. We have a low number, so fast interchange.
Okay, and let's see, so one of your models is basically selling the battery for $7. So what is your cost of goods sold there? How much does the battery cost?
As I said before, we've already talked with the Chinese manufacturers of the batteries and sent us our pre-designs, and they're estimating on $3 per batch of 5,000 units. So we think we could get them for $3 a piece, and if we sold at $7, that would make a profit of roughly $4.
Okay. And let's see, someone has a comment here. Do you know that this already exists for free at EE? I'm not sure what.
What's EE?
T-Mobile. What's that? T-Mobile.
Oh, in the UK.
We did not know about that. We've done our research, and the most we found is Plego mobile cubes were very similar to us in some aspects, and we don't know that. We'll look into that.
Okay. Let's see, this was already covered. There's a lot of money going into vending machines. So what about the increased theft risk from these machines, especially since they don't accept credit card, I presume? I'm not sure. You're concerned about theft. I mean, typically in a vending machine, you typically only have like maybe a $1 candy bar. Now you're talking a $7 battery.
Yeah, well, first of all, they do accept credit cards. And secondly, we think there are vending machines out there like Best Buys at airports and open places that sell iPhones and tablets. So that's really a risk that doesn't ruin the concept.
Agreed. All right. Thank you very much.